Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life. I'm Jared, and as always, I'm joined by my partner, Johanna. Hey, Johanna.
Hi, Jared.
What are we going to talk about today?
Interviewing as a teacher.
But first, your website you finally made.
I did it. I made the website.
What is the website?
JohannaRussell.com.
Well, that's straightforward.
Was I supposed to make it something different?
No.
Okay.
There's no dash. There's no underscore.
No, it's just a www.johanna. I suppose that's a hard name to spell
really.
Now that I think of it. Johanna.
Yeah.
Russell, Russell. I have a lot of doubles in my name.
.com.
.com.
Yeah, there's a lot of doubles.
Yeah. Even my middle name has doubles.
JOHANNARUSSELL.
Yes. Isn't there some sort of character that goes about saying double S's, double E's, double L's?
Like a Looney Tunes type thing?
Something.
I don't remember exactly, but
anyway,
I think you're right.
I did it.
Write in and tell us who says double something.
Yes.
As kind of their signature.
Yeah, we would like to know.
But then also, we would like to know about interviewing.
Yes, people do want to know about interviewing.
From which direction?
As the person who is getting interviewed.
You're a teacher applying for a position.
Yes.
And you have an interview?
Yes. What to expect when you're expecting a teacher interview.
We're going to get sued.
Is that a book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I never read that one. Anyway.
What do you expect?
Well.
What should you expect?
I think it depends on the state. Also the school district.
This is going to be a long podcast then?
It's not. I think there are some key things that no matter where you are valuable to help yourself in having a successful interview experience.
Okay. Lay it on me.
So when they tell you you have an interview, you want to ask questions at that point if they don't kind of spell out for you what's happening. So saying things like, I want to make sure that I have copies for everyone. How many people should I anticipate providing handouts for? Is a great way of saying how many people are going to be on my interview committee. And then also asking, as I prepare for the interview, is it best that I cater it towards an administrative audience, or will there also be teachers involved in their interview can also help you know who's going to be there, which I think takes some of the stress out of it.
Okay.
Just knowing.
So really you just want to know, you don't care about your fake questions.
Right.
Not very much anyway.
Right.
But they're a professional sounding way to ask, how many people are going to be there?
Yes. Are students going to be there is another thing. So asking, will I have an opportunity to interact with students? And phrasing it as an opportunity. A lot of times I think the best way to hire teachers is to have them teach a mini lesson so you can actually see them with students. But not all school districts do that. And so we're going to get into what to do based off of the interview, like experience they have set up, how you can kind of put your best foot forward.
Okay. Opportunity is a good word.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I'm writing just a second. Will I have opportunity to interact with students?
Yes.
I remember one time when I was in 8th grade, we had that situation.
Yes.
And it was in science class. And I wanted to ask a hard question to give them a chance to shine. I decided not to.
Yes, because probably you had a bunch of administrators and other teachers in the room.
There was one administrator and one teacher watching them.
Okay. So I will say that from a teacher's perspective, if you're nervous about needing to teach a mini lesson, they will all be extremely well behaved. There are too many adults in the room. Like, even if they try and put together like a group of kids that they think will like test your ability to do classroom management, like the kids understand a stage pretty well in a way that there's like a social anxiety to, I don't know.
I wasn't anxious. I wasn't trying to be a problem.
Right.
They were demonstrating something with clay.
Yeah.
And they were compressing the clay. And I wanted to ask, even though I knew the answer.
See, I was going to say, no, this is a sign that even Jared, who has no ability to edit himself ever when he was a child, edited himself during the interview process because there was something in him that said that socially it might not be acceptable for you to push that button.
I thought I would feel bad if they didn't know the answer.
Yes, like everyone's just a little bit more astute. So I've never seen, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to never happen, but I personally have never witnessed kids not doing anything but trying to be the best student they could be in that moment, whatever their best version of themselves is.
Sure.
Yeah. They feel as much on stage as the teacher getting like interviewed.
Because you push down on the clay and it squishes.
Yes. It compresses.
It compresses, but compression implies two opposite forces. So
well, the table
where's the
is
other
providing.
force coming? Exactly.
Yeah, the table is providing a force.
Right. Because the Earth is.
Right. But they were extremely nervous. So who knows whether, even though, like in their brain, they would have known the answer, they would have actually done it. Okay, but let's get back on point.
Maybe that was their time to shine, though, and I denied them the opportunity.
I don't know. Did that person get hired?
I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, that's the opportunity to interact with students.
Yes.
Who will be on their best behavior.
Yes.
So you want that?
You do want that.
Okay.
If you're a good teacher, that's what you want, is the opportunity to teach.
But they won't ask you if you want that, right? Like, it's just either going to be part of it or not.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So once you know a little bit more about the interview process, what are some things that either before an interview is ever an option? Let's say you are getting prepared for student teaching or you're doing your practicum or whatever it is. Video speaks volumes, and getting video of yourself teaching students is extremely important to have in your back pocket.
For you or for them?
For you.
Okay.
To use.
Watching yourself on video.
Oh, no. I mean for you to market yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. If you aren't given the opportunity to teach with students, you want to be able to show, hopefully it will come up in the interview process and you will have a reason to show yourself teaching with students. Get yourself a nice 3.5 minute chunk and have one focusing on like classroom management, have a chunk focusing on you teaching small group instruction, have another chunk on you providing universal core instruction. And then during the interview process, that way you can actually say, well, I would love to show you an example of how I provide small group instruction. And then it doesn't need to be, sometimes I think teachers who are doing interviews think that they need to have, they're like, how do I ever fit it all in? Well, the people who are interviewing know what comes before and after. If you give them a glimpse, a snapshot, they will have a clearer understanding of the type of teacher you are. It doesn't need to be the full picture.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Because no one really cares about learning so much. It's about whether you can manage a classroom.
No. Well, yes. But when it's interviewing, everyone has their rose-colored glasses on during the interview process. So it's really about how well they think you connect to kids and how well they think you will connect to the staff. So in addition to the videos of you teaching, get yourself some video of kids talking about you as a teacher.
So trap them and force them to say nice things about you?
Yeah, just ask them. And record that. Record the question that you ask the kids.
Okay.
So saying things like...
So it looks more natural, even though you're only using the good ones? It's like it's
I would
election
use them
season.
all. Like, I wouldn't necessarily like edit it. Again, kids are gonna be kids, but it's a great like.
You see the
when
commercial
you send
of
out your resume to be able to. You don't want to post this stuff free for anyone to find on YouTube. That's not what I'm advocating. Like,
this is like your portfolio.
It's a portfolio, so you are only sharing this with educators. You are making a point to say like you only have access to it through this way. But even when you send out like resume information, you can include links into video where they can actually see you teaching or get student feedback. Or
the student in your video is like the politician running for president is like, hey, there's an ordinary voter who says, I like candidate person because he or she is a straight shooter. And it just seems, people do that for a reason, right?
Yes, the video seems more authentic than letters. I just think it's more effective. It could be that I am biased, but I think it's more effective in painting the whole picture of who you are as a teacher.
Well, seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. So particularly if they're not giving you an interview experience. Plus, it gives you, like, if you're interviewing and you're panicking, it gives you something to like pivot to. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you a thing to, if you ask kids and say, like, make it open-ended. Say something like, what is one of the best traits you think I have as a teacher? And what is a trait you think I still need to work on? Mm-hmm. And then let the kid answer. And their answer is their answer. Keep it all. Well, because it's going to make you look human, right? Like, no one also wants to hire perfection. Even though they say they do, there's something about teaching that, like, being vulnerable is important.
Yeah, that's just teaching.
Oh, is it in everything?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think that the video thing's a really good idea, I think. I think a lot of jobs could probably do that.
Oh, really?
But yours especially, that makes a lot of sense. Because, otherwise, if they don't get to see you do it, it would be like hiring a skateboarder based upon what they say about skateboarding.
Yes.
And be like, okay, you sound like you know the terms of skateboarding, but that probably means you can skate. But like, if I see you do one trick, I'm like, that person can skate.
Yes. Yeah, that person can connect to students.
How many teachers have gone into, how many millions of interviews have been done by teachers where they were talking about skateboarding? Essentially.
Oh, that's like, every teacher interview.
Are you a good teacher? I mean, I do things.
Yeah, new teachers.
I do a 180 ollie.
I don't even know what you're saying. Particularly teachers who don't have any experience. And I did this too. I was so concerned about them understanding that I was going to be good at my content area. And
no one cares.
They don't care.
Well, I mean, it's not that they don't care. It's that basically every applicant is perfectly competent or more at their content area.
If you
That's
have
not the
right
problem.
qualifications, they're not worried about whether you can teach the AP class. Like, if you've got the qualifications that say you can, then they're just like, okay, they can.
They've never had a teacher fail because they didn't know their content?
Yeah, I can't think of a time where that's been a problem.
Almost never is that the problem.
Yeah, the problem is...
So convincing them that you're good at math is not important.
No.
Convincing them that kids can be engaged when you talk to them about math.
Yes.
And how do you do that? By talking about it. How do you convince someone that you're a good skateboarder? By talking about it.
I mean, there would be nothing better than to have a mini video that's a kid showing they didn't understand the concept. You cut to small group instruction where you are teaching the concept, and then you cut to the summative assessment where the student talks about how they did on the assessment and what they think mattered in being able to now know and understand it. Yeah. I mean, that's a powerful thing.
This is probably all we need for this podcast.
Well, we
should call it the video portfolio interview episode.
Yes.
And that's all do you have anything better than this? I don't think so.
I do. I have a little other nugget that's important.
Okay, what?
As the person who is interviewing, you need to show genuine interest and curiosity in all things connected to the school. It's kind of like how everyone has kids, but like your kid is unique.
No.
Well, but if someone has kids and you ask them about their kids, like they're going to go on and on and on. Like as the person who's interviewing, show genuine interest in the people interviewing you. Show genuine interest in the school and what makes it like.
I got bored again.
No.
The video thing was awesome, but this is obvious. This is
not obvious, and people don't do it.
But this is everything, every interview.
No.
Every time you meet a person, right? Like no one wants to like someone that doesn't like them back. And so,
but they're too busy. They're too busy and nervous about selling themselves.
Sure.
That they and they want the job so bad that they don't think about the fact that the audience doesn't realize you really want the job. They think you just want a job.
Yeah.
They don't think you want this job. They want to know that you want to be in this school, that you want to work with this staff, that you want to work with these parents, that you want to work with these kids. Like if you get to do an interview, if you get to meet students, taking the time to ask the kid, like, tell me about who you are.
Tell me about the culture of your school / workplace.
No, that's the question that always gets asked. Don't ask that.
Businesses like to talk about culture a lot.
Yes, but school, you wanna ask about the heart of the school.
Do you have a mission statement?
No, don't ask about the mission statement. For Pete's sake.
I think you're supposed to in business. Maybe I'm wrong though.
If you are a teacher in the interview and we have not yet started, I would say, tell me about your class.
Yeah, to a teacher interviewer.
Yes.
Okay.
If I was asking an administrator questions, I would say every school has something magical about them. What are some things that make your school magical?
Magical?
Yes.
Laying out a little thick there?
You're not. You are not.
In any event.
You are not. I'm telling you.
Get them talking about themselves and then pretend to have admiration and interest.
You will.
Yeah, sure. You totally will. Because you want the job.
Asking things about what's the direction? Where do you want to see this school in 5 years? How might I be able to be an asset? Tell me some things that you're looking for in a teacher so that they can be of value, because I am so excited about moving a school forward or helping to maintain what's already really strong within the school.
Everyone already kind of understands this, which is why they know why are you interested in this position? The answer is because you'll pay me more than I get paid now. Is never the right answer. Everyone knows that. And it's for this basic reason.
But no one does this.
Yeah.
I will tell you when they do, there'll be like 5 candidates and it's the one that does this that gets hired.
Yeah.
Like, I really think this is always the linchpin that separates
no one ever got hired.
Candidate.
Almost no one. Very few people get hired because they prove themselves the most competent in the 40-minute interview.
No,
they get hired because they were liked the most. And the easiest way to get liked the most is to show, real or not, interest and admiration of that person. Everyone likes people that like them and don't like people who don't like them.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good advice.
Well, I'm saying it because I don't see it very often.
It's not just teachers, too. Everyone should take this.
It's the person that gets hired.
Because you're right. You're worried about selling yourself.
I did it.
Right.
I was so nervous about making sure that they knew I was the best candidate that I forgot to connect to who they were. Like, I thought they would know that I had spent countless hours finding everything I could find about them. Well, at that time, there really wasn't the internet. But you know what I mean? Like, that I had searched and hunted and...
There was the internet.
Okay, there was the internet. But...
You're not that old
No, that's true.
There just wasn't the piles and piles of content on it.
Yes. There was like
there
a
wasn't
page.
social media, really.
There was a page that you could scroll down.
Yeah. All right. This was really good.
You think so?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have come up with this one on your own there, Jared?
I mean, so one is just kind of we'll recap, and I'll give you my assessment.
Yeah.
A recap, and I'll rate it too. One's a good little pro tip. It's a neat trick. You're gonna like ask professional seeming questions to really just find out the spy stuff that you want to find out about, so that you're not worried about uncertainty going in. Like, you know, I want to bring materials in. Can you let me know how many copies I might need?
Yes.
Should I gear my presentation for a purely administrative audience, or will it be a mix of teachers and administrators? And will I have the opportunity to interact with students?
Yes.
Get some unknowns off the table so you can prepare a little bit better, but mostly just so you don't have to worry about every possibility. You can know what you're facing.
Yes.
Good trick.
Good trick.
One neat trick.
If they're telling you that they want to do a mini lesson, then you want to say, oh, I'm so excited about that. I would love to know specifically what might be beneficial to the students as far as what are they currently learning, or where would you like the lesson to, what would you like the lesson to address? How much might these students already know about this lesson? Should I, then start, the more you can pick at the problem, the better.
Your second thing is just excellent.
All right.
Perfect advice. Most people don't do it. Everyone should. Is you need a video portfolio of yourself actually teaching.
Yes.
You want to have videos that demonstrate your classroom management, your small group instruction, and your universal core instruction. And then having this portfolio in your interview packet materials that you've already given to them, then you can, in your interview questions, refer to what they have seen on the video.
Yes, and you should be able to get, if you are student teaching, you should be able to get your student teaching supervisor or your cooperating teacher. And even better yet is for them to sneak the video when you don't necessarily know that it's happening. Like if a student is having a behavior situation and as you're managing it, a video gets taken, fantastic. Edit it down to the part that's important and not necessarily the part that makes you look the best, but
right. Looks like a real teacher who can do it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're a skateboarder trying to talk about how you can skateboard.
Correct.
And then sort of related to this is a point we talk about a lot, which is they've never had someone fail because they didn't know their content enough.
I don't think so. They've had...
That's not their concern.
Issues where it's like getting it from point A to point B. Like it was inside the teacher's head, but getting it into the student's head, that's a failure pivot point.
Right. But that's what you want your instructional, your video profile to focus on, is connecting with students, not so much that you're looking smart.
Right.
And a lot of other things. Always keep that in mind. You're not selling your content ability, really.
No, there's nothing wrong with having an example of your ability to be exceptional at explaining your content, but they're more interested in, well, what do you do when a kid doesn't know the content, or what do you do when they already know the content? That's more of the information they want to see. And
then you also can get videos of the kids talking about you where you include your question and just ask them an open-ended question about how you are as a teacher and then record the reaction. You can include that in your portfolio too.
Yes.
Great. And then something that's universal for every interview, not just teaching, is you want to pretend to have interest and curiosity in them. Get them talking about themselves and then smile and act like that's interesting and you admire it.
Yes.
Because that will make them like you. because people want to like people that like them.
Yes.
And then that's what will get you hired.
Yes.
Because people want to work with people that they will like. And they don't want to work with people that they won't like, no matter how talented they are.
Yeah, particularly in education. Like, if you're not likable,
it's not particularly in education.
Oh, really?
It's everything.
Just gonna say.
It's the odds that you're so much more talented than there are other applicants that you're going to win purely on talent, even if you're not the one that they like the best. Plus, the interview format is kind of a terrible way to judge talent anyway.
I've seen school districts not hire for a position because they didn't have a good candidate.
Sure.
Like, because with education, it feels so finite when they hire someone.
Right. Well, it kind of is.
Depends on the district, but yeah.
All right. This was good. This is good advice. You should label this one important. Unlike all the other ones where we were mostly just talking about stuff.
It's a need to know versus nice to know.
All the content you do is pretty good, but this one is like specifically actionable to people that need it, and they should definitely listen to it.
Well, good.
So
that's what they were looking for.
Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Jared.
Johanna, do you get questions from listeners ever?
Yes, we do.
How do those listeners send you questions?
They send us an email.
Where does that email go?
teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
But wait, what kind of 4? How do I do 4?
All of the 4s. They can do a number 4. They can write the word FOR, or they can do FOUR, even though that one doesn't quite make sense.
Well, perfect. teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Jared.
Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life.